beautiful friends, welcome back to Anitas Delights. My name is Anna and today I'm going to show you how to make chicken baked ziti. This is a classic Italian American dish that everyone loves. It's very simple, it comes together very quickly, and like I said, it's a staple whenever you need something luscious and delicious but easy and just simple that everyone will adore. So the ingredients you're going to need: some extra virgin olive oil, onion, have some garlic powder, some dried parsley, lots of beautiful basil. You're gonna need some ziti pasta, crushed tomatoes, a little bit of a little bit of heavy cream, and you're also going to need some garlic and some chicken breast. That is pretty much it, so let's get right into it. The first thing I'm gonna do is season my chicken breast with some salt and pepper and my garlic powder and parsley. It's just going to flavor the chicken a little bit more so you don't end up with bland chicken in your final product. So just do a little bit of this beautiful seasoning. Just like that. I also like to do a little bit of black pepper. Beautiful. And I'm also going to start preheating my skillet to medium high heat. I like to use a high-side skillet, like you see here, just because I like to make the sauce in the skillet, and obviously like the skillet is with high size, it's gonna hold up all of the sauce beautifully, so you don't have to transfer it to like a saucepan. It just creates more dishes that we don't need, because I don't know about you, but I don't like doing dishes. So we flip the chicken breast so we can do the other side. So just the remaining of the seasoning. To my skillet, I am going to add about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. My oil should be nice and hot, so now it's time to sear our chicken. Now I'm just gonna wait for my chicken to sear on both sides. You necessarily don't want it to cook all the way, because we have to add it back into the sauce and then it's gonna go into the oven. So it doesn't have to be cooked through. We just want it to have a beautiful crust on both sides. My chicken seared beautifully on both sides, as you can see. Look at this beautiful color. So now I'm going to transfer it to a plate. Now to the same skillet, I'm going to bring down the heat to medium. I am going to add my onions. You can add a little more oil if you feel like you need a little more oil. Give this a quick stir. It's been about 3 minutes. My onion is nice and tender, so I am going to add the garlic, mix it in, and let the garlic cook for about 30 seconds. It doesn't have to cook for much. Now we add in our crushed tomatoes. We give this a quick stir just to incorporate everything. Now we add some basil, and I just like to rip it with my hands. Add it to your sauce, and I'm also going to bring my pot that I have with water to a boil. We season it with a little bit of salt. And now we let this sauce cook and thicken for about, I would say 15 minutes, or until the pasta, the boiling water comes to boil. We add the pasta, we cook the pasta. Once the pasta is done, that means that our sauce is practically going to be done. If you find that your sauce is a little too acidic, just add a pinch of sugar, and that will help with the acidity in the sauce. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna do everything I just said, and I'll see you back here for the next step. My sauce looks wonderful, and here's what I've done. Okay, so I let the water come to a boil, I salted it, and then I added my pasta and I cooked it for about 8 minutes. The packaging said to cook it for about 10 to 12 minutes, but since we have to pop it in the oven, it's gonna continue cooking. And of course, we don't want to overcook our pasta. And then I also sliced my chicken and I added it into the sauce. So the sauce has been cooking for a total of, I would say, probably 18 minutes. And then, by the way, I sliced the chicken and I added, once I added the pasta, I sliced the chicken and I added it into the sauce. So that's kind of like the time frame you are looking for. Now it's time to add in the pasta into the sauce. And I personally like to do it with my little kitchen spider. It just grabs everything, and I love that it just takes a little bit of that sauce, of the pasta water with it, because that's gonna help loosen up the sauce, but it's also going to thicken it up due to starch in the water, and you're gonna end up with a beautiful result. So that looks good. I also made sure to preheat my oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. So that just pretty much preheated. And now it's time to just mix the sauce with the pasta. It's gonna be a little watery at the moment, but don't you worry, because this is all going to marry in the oven, and it's gonna be delightful. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. I am going to grab this handy dandy little spatula. This is just grabs things a little better. And here is what we are going to do. We are going to add pretty much our pasta into a baking dish. So I like to add half of my pasta first, just like this. And then I like to add some shredded mozzarella cheese. I don't think I said in the beginning when I gave you the ingredients that you needed cheese, but of course to make baked ziti, you're gonna need lots of beautiful cheese. So I have grated mozzarella, and I also have some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. And I like to do it like this. That way, once the cheese melts, it just kind of like melts on top and it melts in the middle, and you get a cheesy delightfulness of a pasta dish. Now I'm going to cover it very lightly with some aluminum foil. You don't want to cover it too tightly because the cheese is going to stick to the foil, so I'm going to cover it very lightly. Now I like to put it on top of a baking dish in case anything spills. The baking dish is going to catch it. And this is going to go into my preheated oven for about 20 minutes covered. I'm going to uncover it. I'm going to turn on the broiler to high and broil it for about 5 minutes so the cheese gets nice and melty and toasty and delicious. And I'll see you right back for the final result. My ziti pasta is finally done, and it smells so yummy. By the way, I had an epic fail. I forgot to add in the cream, and you would like to do that right before you add in the chicken. And the cream is essential because it makes everything very luxurious and very creamy and just wonderful. I don't know how, but I totally skipped that step. So please don't do that. The cream, I would say it's necessary, at least in my opinion. So my pasta baked in the oven for 20 minutes covered. I uncovered it, turned on the broiler for 5 minutes, and it broiled for that amount. So now I am ready to serve. I did let it rest for about, it's resting for about 10 minutes, so everything really just like soaks up all the juice, and it just becomes wonderful. But here is your final result. This is what you want your pasta to look like. It's just a very easy pasta dish that absolutely drives everyone insane because it's so yummy. And I personally like to finish it with a little bit of fresh basil. You can do a little more parm, like I said, but here's the final result. It's time for the taste test, so let's do it. It's still piping hot, but my favorite thing about it is the cheesy goodness that's like right in between the pasta. It just makes it even more cheesy instead of just like having all the cheese on top, which is equally as delicious, don't get me wrong, but when you have like layers of cheesy goodness, just makes, oh my goodness, I cannot grab this pasta. Just makes everything so much better. Even without the cream, it's wonderful. It's flavorful, it's easy. It's definitely a crowd pleaser. I make this for dinner all the time when I have people over. And even on weeknights when I just need like a quick little something that it's going to fill me up and it is going to be delicious. This is what I make. Yummy, yummy, yummy. There's no other words to describe this recipe. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Get the written recipe on my website, anitasrecipes.com. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.